Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for another video here. Today, something a little different. As you guys can see, I have a statue for this video. This is the Wolverine and Colossus Fastball Special from Sideshow. I did get this just today. I'm filming this video on November 2nd of 2024. I believe here in the US, this started shipping out around October of 2024. This is $1,050 US. There is, I believe, a 1/5 scale version that has a bit of a diorama thing going on, but I went ahead and got the premium scale one here. So very awesome to finally have this one. Again, you guys can see there is the box. For those that are interested, I did measure the box. Is 15 in depth, 28 in height, and about 24 inches in width. So just in case anyone is interested, this is all in inches, and at least according to the FedEx guide, this weighs approximately 40 pounds. And here I'll go ahead and show you the back of the box that shows the actual statue itself. Of course, this being the Fastball Special, you get, of course, Colossus and Wolverine there. This is called premium scale. I believe, I'm assuming this is closer to quarter scale, but we'll see. But I mean, the box itself looks undamaged, so thank for FedEx not damaging anything this time. But we'll open this up and give you guys a look. And to give you guys a look, this is what it looks like inside with the styrofoam container. You got those two Velcro straps, no tape around the sides or anything, and the styrofoam container does indicate what's top and bottom, so just be really careful, of course, to put the top facing the top here. And then out of the styrofoam container there, this is all the pieces in the box. It looks pretty huge, so I'm going to guess this is in fact closer to quarter scale, but we'll see. Nothing looks broken. I haven't had a chance to really look thoroughly through anything. Just want to show you guys this is exactly, if you do get this statue, how it will look out of the styrofoam container. All right, so let's get going here with the first piece out of the box. This is, of course, the base, which is essentially a Sentinel head, which you could see clearly here. That's the mouth, here's the eyes, and then you've got all these explosion effects going on. You, of course, got the slot here for Colossus to stand on, and the slot itself. And you've got a lot of cool little detail. You've got some, what I'm assuming, Wolverine claw marks here on the face. Right here on the side, you've got some cables sort of just hanging there, which are done really well. The base itself is not light, it's not too heavy. It does feel a little hollow, so I'm going to assume it is in fact hollow, probably towards the bottom. But it's nicely done. Thankfully on mine, I didn't see any issues yet, and I think the color and what's there, it's done really well. It is pretty massive, so you are going to need some good space for it. Mine specifically looks to be number 75 out of 700 here, so there you go. But yeah, overall, you know, your classic you know, Sentinel base here for this piece. And then as far as the depth, I'm gonna say probably approximately 19 inches. If you start to include some of the cables back here, you know, it gets a little into 19.5, but the actual space that will touch the, you know, whatever table or something you have it on, yeah, it's closer to like 18 or 19 inches. So just something to keep in mind. A lot of depth depending on how you're going to display this guy here. All right, so let's move on next to the body here. I'm going to try to do this. I'm doing this one-handed. This piece, it's pretty heavy. I'm going to say this is probably where most of the weight of the statue is going to be in Colossus. And again, thankfully, like the base, no issues on my end, no breakage, no paint missing or anything. So pretty happy so far here with this piece. You guys see the classic yellow and red. You got the nice belt, and of course you got the body here, and it's got this nice very athletic like pose. Here's the neck slot that's magnetized, I'm assuming, for the head, and then of course for the arms here. You do have a nice chunky metal peg here with the slot that of course goes on the base here. So I'm gonna set this up, see if I can give you guys a closer look. All right, so before we slot him in, just want to show you guys, of course, The left foot goes here in the front where there's a slot, and the right foot, there's an explicit section here where you could tell where, you know, the foot's supposed to go. So let's go ahead and attempt to put this on. One thing to just be careful of with this guy, of course, don't try to grab by these sections here. These seem very thin, the part of the knee pads, I guess. So just be really careful with that. So the next thing to do here would be to attempt to get that in the slot. And you've got to just be careful and push down to get that in. So once you get that placed in, you do have to apply a bit of pressure. So I would definitely apply it down here, being really careful not to touch any of the knee pads or anything, especially on this leg, because you do have to apply a bit of pressure to get this slot to go in. But once it's in, looks very secure, no issues. And there you guys could see the statue. I'm going to move you back a bit here, taking its shape here. Alright, so next up is the actual Wolverine body, which is the blue and yellow suit, the tiger stripes. On the side here look really nice. Same thing here on the top. This piece is definitely way lighter than Colossus, so again, I'm able to hold this pretty well with one hand. Of course, you got your slots here for the claws. On the back, you'll see they included this tissue paper that I haven't pulled out yet to protect the shoulder pads. I'm assuming against any breakage or scratches, so just something to be aware of. But you know what? I think it's done really well. Again, the skin texture, the hair, or the hair texture anyway, I think it's done really cool. It's painted on, so just something there to note. And this guy, of course, the classic blue and yellow there with the X belt there. Colossus's, what's that, his right hand is permanently stuck to the foot. It comes sculpted as part of it. And of course you got the slot there. Really cool. As I said, this piece is not that heavy, which is good because, you know, it's going to be hanging essentially off the side. But there you go. So next I'm going to attempt and put this in. I'll try to see if I could do it one-handed. If not, I may need to do it off camera. But of course this is shaped a certain way so that you know which way it's supposed to fit in the arm there. And of course you got your metal rod here to sort of guide you. So let's attempt and try and do this. A little hard to do this behind the camera, but it looks like this is a bit of a deal, like so. Kind of goes in pretty easy, to tell you the truth, kind of. Yep, it kind of just slides in place without much issue. Hopefully it kind of holds in place pretty well there, but that's pretty much what you're looking at once you slide this in. Kind of just sits in place like so. That's the connection itself. Kind of just slides in place into the Colossus body without much issue, which again, it's kind of cool. So that's the statue so far. And now we're getting into the more manageable pieces. This is the Wolverine head. Again, I think it's done pretty cool. You've got the nice big long spiky side things there from his mask. Pretty black and blue color that they've added there. You've got, of course, the open mouth with the teeth, the tongue. I think that looks well done. And you've got the eyes there with the angry expression. Certainly fits in really well. And then you've got the yellow mask here. You've got some nice detailing there with the yellow, but it's also painted like some dirt or black color paint there to add some additional detail. There is a magnet here. So that goes pretty much in the Wolverine body there. The other head that we do get in this set is, of course, Colossus. I don't have any other quarter scale Colossus. I do have a 1/10 scale from Iron Studios. Of course, that one was based on the X-Men cartoon show. This is more comic. But, I mean, this head, no issues on my end. It's done really well. You've got that nice silver. Reminds me a lot of the paint they've used in the Silver Surfer statue that they released quite a while back. But really cool, really well done. Love the expression, love the white eyes there. Definitely looks very Colossus-like, very angry. The head here I need to clean this. Looks like there's a little bit of a smudge there on the top. I don't know if you could see that. I'll try to get that cleaned up. But yeah, overall the head looks really cool. And of course you've got a magnet there as well. And then as far as placement, as I mentioned, this has a magnet. So you kind of just match the key to the head. Magnet kind of grabs it right on pretty well. And then similarly to Wolverine, we're going to take the head, just stick it on there. The magnet should, yep, pretty much grabs it on without any issue. So moving on here, almost near the end, here's the Colossus is essentially his left hand. And the detail on this is really awesome. You've got, again, the metal skin done in this dark silver. You've got this nice line work here, sculpted. The knuckles, the fingers. This is really cool. You've, of course, got the red wristband, I guess, with the gold. And it's not just plain red. You've got some nice additional shading and colors to give it that sort of worn out battle look. Same thing with the silver here. I see hints of, like, I guess, purple, or unless it's a reflection that I'm seeing, but it looks really cool. I think whatever shading they've done here looks really well done. It kind of matches the rest of the body really well. And here's the you know, the slot with the magnet that'll fit right in over the hand there. And then to give you guys a look again, here's the hand itself. You just kind of match it up to the slot, and I think it goes something like that. Yep. Very athletic stance there. And here's Wolverine's right arm. Yep, his right arm. The claws, again, be really careful. They're nicely done, but, you know, make sure you don't hit them or anything. You want to avoid any potential breakage. The gloves are really well done. You've got the blue with the black accents there. You got some muscle definition certainly going on. So again, no issues here. Looks really cool. And of course you got your slot with the magnet there, and same thing, this is kind of just gonna go slot in place to fit in there. But the arms are done really well. Again, no issues with the claws or anything. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. And the magnet kind of just grabs it, no issue there. And here we are at the end, just about. Here's the left hand, pretty similar to the right hand. You got the blue, you got the muscle definition there going on. No complaints. All right, guys, so here we are. It is done, and this thing looks awesome once you have it all put together. I was a little worried initially that you know, with the whole balance of the statue, how things would fit in, if Colossus would hold anything. But at least so far, first impressions, no issues. Everything fits in place really well. Everything's held together, you know, without any issue. So you guys could see there is Colossus, Wolverine. We got the claws all fully in. I went ahead and took out the tissue paper. Be very careful with that. But again, man, this thing looks incredible in motion. I like how they managed to capture that motion, you know, the whole Fastball Special of Colossus throwing Wolverine around. But yeah, I'm gonna try to walk you around. Sorry if it's a little shaky. I think this statue can look great right here from this angle. This is a straight, you know, front and back. For me specifically, I think if you place it slightly at an angle, it'll look slightly better. But of course, once you get this, you know, you can place this as you wish. It's yours. But yeah, the pose, very athletic. I think they got it down. I know some folks initially had an issue with the placement of the hand and how he was Colossus was holding it there, but looks pretty much like a javelin thrower to me. You know, I could be wrong. Here's what it looks like, you know, from the top. And then as you scroll down, man, this thing looks absolutely awesome. Here we go. Here's a bit of a look here through the back. Pardon the shakiness here. I'm doing this by hand. And here's what it looks like from the back. I mean, I don't foresee most folks will be displaying it this way, but of course you can if you want to. As I said, no issues with the connection here, at least not yet. Everything fit in really well, but just something to keep in mind that, of course, this is pretty much what's holding Wolverine to Colossus here. So be really careful. Be also really careful, as I said, with the claws. You don't want to bump into it. kind of get a sense that if you bump into this hard enough, you're going to snap them off. So just be really careful, you know. There you go. So this is the back. Gonna move that in. Love the muscle definition they have here on the body. Of course, it being Colossus, very bodybuilder like. And same thing with Wolverine. You've got some muscle definition here on the legs, and same thing on his arms and on the back. But really cool there. There's the base. I'll take you around this way. And here's the other look at it, the backside. But they've definitely nailed it, I would say. Is initially I was going to get the fit scale one because I thought that that whole deal with the comic page, them sort of jumping out of the comic page, was a great idea. But then I saw that they also announced a, I guess, premium scale, which is, I guess, closer to quarter scale, and I was like, this is a very iconic pose and a very iconic thing for these two and for the X-Men. So I was like, you have to go big. So that's why I essentially went with the bigger version rather than the 1/5 scale. I do wish that they perhaps would have included the same thing, but I'm assuming then the price would have skyrocketed. I think this thing is $1,050. I'm assuming if they decide to include the whole comic page thing that the 1/5 scale has, this probably would have been even more expensive than it already is. If I had to nitpick this, I will say that some of the paint on the base, don't get me wrong, it looks great. But it does look a little soft, I want to say. And the only reason why I say that is because I compared it, for example, here to the paint on this Wolverine that's also from Sideshow. And the paint's a lot more sharper in this Sentinel base. It's on a little better than here on this Fastball Special. Would have been nice, again, but probably would have drove up the price, some light up here, at least on the base. So maybe something where the fire here kind of lights up, and then maybe this eye here kind of flickers on and off. But again, those are just like points. The statue itself, as is, looks awesome. Now, is it worth it, $1,050? That's entirely up to you, right? For me, these pieces come like once in a lifetime. I don't know when we'll get anything else sort of like in this scale, in this pose. So of course, being a huge collector of statues and Marvel and a host of other things, I just figured, you know what, I have to get this. So that's entirely up to you to figure out whether this is worth it. I think this is actually waitlisted, at least this bigger one. I don't know if the 1/5 scale is, but if you can get your hands on it and you're a fan of the X-Men, would definitely highly recommend it here. Now I don't have a way to display these two yet quite together, but I will say that this Wolverine is similarly in size to this Wolverine here. This is the older, again, premium scale. So again, I want to just say that those two do look very similar in scale. To give you guys a bit of an idea here, this is not going to be where I'm going to be displaying it. I'm still trying to work out my options here because my shelves are pretty crowded, as you guys could see. But just want to show you here, this is what it will look like. You do need a pretty deep stand if you're planning on displaying this from exactly front to back. The statue itself is around 19 inches. These are Stubas from IKEA. I don't believe they make these anymore. These are 19-inch in depth, and still I have to place mine at a bit of an angle because Wolverine kind of sticks out pretty well there. But also just want to place him next to the previous Sideshow premium scale Wolverine. I know they also made a Colossus, but I don't have that one. I do have this one, so you guys could see there is some size similarity. I want to say the Wolverine here on the left is slightly bulkier and you know, slightly tad larger, but they are pretty comparable in size there. Awesome statue. I got, again, mine from Sideshow, $1,050. It is quite a bit, very pricey. It's waitlisted, but if you got this and it's coming, man, you're in for a treat. But yeah, that's it for me, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and try to now find a place for it. It looks awesome, highly recommended. At least my piece came out great. Kudos to Sideshow for putting this together, because man, this is like once in a lifetime. But if you made it to the end, thank you so much. You know, if you have any questions or comments, of course, always glad to help there. But if not, thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. And I will definitely catch you in the next one. Take care.